President Clinton is back. That story topping tonight's 2-minute drill. Back to score it with us is our panel. Leslie, wait a minute, that's not our panel. Leslie Marshall, there she is. Jedediah Billa and Tracy Burns. Let's fire up the clock. Now, perhaps the White House briefing room isn't big enough for both of them. President Obama marshaling Bill Clinton to his rescue in hopes of repeating his triangulating triumph from the mid-1990s. Now, only President Obama really knows what he was thinking, but it was pretty awkward to see him march off the stage and leave the ex-president taking questions for another 40 minutes in the White House briefing room. Even Press Secretary Robert Gibbs seemed a little taken aback. So is Clinton upstaging the president, Tracy?
Well, Charles said it earlier, Clinton upstages everyone, and that's what he does, and he does it best, and he did it again tonight. You know, maybe President Obama is thinking, look, everybody likes this guy. If I put this guy out in front for me, maybe more people will come onto my side of the table. Do I think it was the right thing to do? No.
Well, Jedediah, the brilliance, though, of bringing Bill Clinton in is that he has the president, our current president, Obama, was criticized severely for being too tough on his own party and too tough on Republicans in announcing the deal on Monday. This way, he brings in Bill Clinton, a guy who knew how to be friendly to all sides and therefore get the support of all sides going into the future.
Right. I think, you know, one of the problems Obama has is that he's been known as a far-left guy. That doesn't help him with independence. So I think that Bill Clinton, who has had great success, you know, appealing to that middle bracket and coming off as a centrist and playing the whole centrist card, was important. However, I don't think it's very presidential. I want to see my president defending the plan that he's out there supporting. I don't want to see a former president doing
Well,
that.
and Leslie, there was a little, you know, in basketball, occasionally you see folks elbowing each other. I'm sure the president would appreciate the basketball analogy, but there were moments during that thing that were pretty awkward. I bet, here's my prediction, Leslie, we're going to see this on Saturday Night Live tomorrow.
Oh, well, that actually would be fun to watch, David. I wouldn't disagree. But the president did defend his plan. I don't know where you guys were a couple of days ago. Did a big press conference. I watched it.
Yeah, but he defended it by condemning everybody else, and that's not the way you handle it.
No, I think
Go ahead.
My time is up. No, I think he was very clear. He said, this is what I did and this is why I did it. And by the way, when I say to my husband, we have a Christmas party to go to, he will excuse himself, Bill Clinton there or not.
All right, but
he's a smart man.
Your husband is not the president of the United States. Okay.
No,
the federal government spent $150 billion more than it collected last month. This is the highest deficit for the month of November in the entire history of the United States. Incoming House Speaker John Boehner saying he is going to bring up a spending cut measure every week, starting with 5% budget cuts for every member in Congress.
Altogether, that's $25–30 million, and it likely would be one of the first votes we cast.
That's not a lot of money.
We should start with ourselves.
I hate to say 25 million isn't a lot of money, but
we've got to start somewhere, and we're going to start there.
As you could tell from that 60 on the screen, this is an interview from 60 Minutes, which is going to be broadcast in entirety on Sunday. But when are we actually going to see significant cuts in spending? We hear a lot of talk, Jedediah.
Yeah, exactly.
But when are we going to actually see the cuts?
Right, all talk and no action. And I think that how can conservatives trust someone who, once again, is going to put their money behind and say, well, yeah, you know what, this tax deal is great, except we can't, you know, all these unemployment benefits for another 13 months.
Are you talking about the president or John Boehner?
No, I'm saying that the Republican establishment has a reputation right now of being big spenders, and it's absolutely unacceptable to people. You know, it really is. And I think the new Congress coming in is going to have a very different way of doing things. So if he's going to say that, great, you know what, but we want to see the proof in the pudding.
Yeah, Leslie, you know, expectations are very high for the Republican Congress.
Yeah, certainly. But as the president said, we need to get our priorities straight. Because, David, certainly we need to reduce the deficit. But at what price? We talk about securing our borders, fighting a war on terror. Where do we cut? How much do we cut, yet get everything that we want and we need and Americans expect?
How about the earmarks? Start with the earmarks. $140 billion worth of earmarks. And
earmarks
about 100 of them.
The earmarks are tiny.
$100 billion is a lot. That's what the Democrats asked for.
I heard it was $17 billion if you add up all the earmarks.
They asked for them. No, but this is what they asked for. So these guys are requesting this amount of money. What are they thinking? That's the problem.
All right, well, Democrats dropping more F-bombs over this tax deal. So what's up with that? Congressman Jim Moran, quoted by The Hill, as saying, I don't know where the bleep Obama is on this or anything else. They're AWOL. This after another Democrat was quoted yesterday as saying, F the president. Are all these F-bombs just show by Democrats trying to appeal to their liberal base, Leslie?
you know, I'll tell you, sometimes I've had the mouth of a truck driver off air, David, and that is a fault of mine, I admit. But I have to tell you, get a thesaurus or dictionary, left or right, be more professional, be more mature. Let's set an example for our kids, if nothing else. We have a lot of words in the English language.
You got 3 kids, Trace.
I do, but I'm also with Leslie. When you're all angry and you get fired up, I'm certainly not going to swear at my kids, but you get a bunch of mad adults in a room together, and dear God,
the F-bombs
it
happen.
goes.
Yeah, I do agree, though. I think that, you know, it is the President of the United States, and I disagree with a lot of his policies, but you need to be respectful in your discourse.
Last word from Jedediah.